Women self-sabotaging in their e-learning programs, part 2. So in the earlier episode, snippet, we talked about how women self-sabotage in e-learning programs. We talked a lot about psychological issues. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of the technology and tendencies of women. Women often are not very gadget happy or gadget prone. This is a generalization, of course, but it applies to men and women. But often there's a failure to invest in up-to-date technology and infrastructure and services. So this is really important in an online course. It's very important to have the latest or an adequate, especially make sure that the equipment is adequate for the purposes, and then also to make sure that the access issues have been resolved. So high-speed internet, Wi-Fi necessary, and the types of equipment that will be able to actually use and pick up Wi-Fi and hotspots. Let's talk a little bit more too about just basically self-efficacy types of issues and self-regulation. Self-regulation is a big one. Poor time management is huge. So it's important to be able to identify the tasks and then also to be able to organize them and organize your time. And women often have family issues and cross-generational family care issues more than, say, the men in the family, which causes a lot of stress and pressure on time management. Misguided goal setting. It's very important to be able to set goals and then concretize the goals by putting specific parameters around and in the goals, and that's critical. Poor online communication skills. If women do not feel comfortable in speaking up in discussion boards, or if there's not an ability to really actually express what one wants in a tactful and honest way online, it makes it very difficult to actually succeed in an online course. And then finally, I'd like to say that perhaps one of the most insidious ways that women self-sabotage is through workaholism. There was a recent article that talked about workaholism and how, yes, it seems like a heroic, self-sacrificing type of thing, worthy of a badge of honor, but workaholism often masks something more insidious. It represents a kind of comfort zone and it's a comfort zone from which one is able to avoid emotional risk and insulate oneself with a lot of work, a lot of predictable types of things. And, being a workaholic is a great way to tread water and not make any progress. It's also a good way to avoid risk. It's also a very, very good way to get oneself out of date and not diversified. And as we all know, in our changing economy and changing global context with always evolving technology, it's very important to maintain professional development and to push oneself to stay up to date and be pretty proactive with it. Workaholism, depending on what it is, can keep one trapped in sort of monotonous tasks. You get maybe a paycheck, but that's going to be short-lived if your skills don't keep up. So those are the second 5 factors or aspects of how women self-sabotage in online e-learning programs, sabotage education and the future. And I want to say again that it applies often to men as well as women, but it's useful to look at specific challenges that confront women.